What's up,
Yo,
boss?
what's up? What's up?
Yeah, my other account is like suspended from going live or some shit. So this is the
You're all good, homie.
so what's
You're
up?
all good.
So today,
Nothing
let's
much.
give like a little bit of an introduction for the people who aren't familiar with what's going on. I am going to start doing a bunch of different interviews with mainly cannabis related people who have knowledge on the plant and actually can share their knowledge. So this right here is someone who is beyond knowledgeable, and this is someone right here who can definitely help the game in a lot of very great ways. So this is definitely going to be a interview that I think the people really need to hear. So if you would like to tell the people, how long have you actually been growing? How long have you actually been in the game?
Well, first off, I want to just say I'm not really in the game, but I've been growing for myself for about a good 10, 20 years.
Yeah, well, not
Indoor for about 10 years. Indoor for about 10 years. Outdoor, probably 20 years.
really. So let's start off there. What do you think is the most effective one? Do you think that indoor can even be close to as effective as do you think indoor can be even as close to as effective as outdoor? Or do you think that outdoor just blows it away every time?
Yes and no. It all depends on the grower and the genetics they're running, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I've had some fire indoor, amazing fire indoor, soil grown, rock wool, hydro. It all depends. But is it smoking like the outdoor that's grown under the sun? Nah, it's hard to replicate the sun and what it can do with cannabis. And that's the bottom line. And it just has to be done properly. Not everybody can do it, clearly, but
Do
sun will prevail every time.
do you think that like from your experience, is indoor even as close? Like, can you even get the effects ever from indoor?
What indoor gives us is the option to be consistent. That's what it gives us.
Mm-hmm.
The consistency to constantly keep growing crop after crop without worries of Mother Nature.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. That's all indoors for.
Yeah, it's also like just
Yes,
to keep people concealed, keep it like more private, so that in case like the cops and whatnot. So I
of
definitely
course, of course.
I definitely think like indoor has a lot of value in the market today. It's also something
So,
that you can like continuously like have available. So it's definitely, it makes sense why it's so popular and people
yeah,
think of it as like such like a great thing, but everyone knows like outdoor weed is gonna blow you away. If you haven't tried really high level outdoor weed, then
correct.
it's like a whole new experience. It's like a whole new
But
plant.
then you have greenhouses too. That is
Exactly.
greenhouses are basically indoor, grown by the sun.
So with
So,
the greenhouse, do you think that that is what do you think about like indoor or greenhouse compared to outdoor? Do you think that outdoor would be something you prefer more, or is it that
uh, I think a mix of the two is good because you don't want to have too much of a high tolerance smoking all outdoor because it's
yeah,
going to really, it's a lot stronger.
it is.
So it's going to, of course, raise your tolerance more. So a good balance of, to me, hash, indoor and outdoor flower, switch it up every time you grab something. You know what I mean? It doesn't, you don't want the same thing every time.
Yeah.
Clearly. Like, nobody wants the same shit every time.
Yeah, no one wants to continuously smoke the same strain every day. It's just you
But
almost
if you have good access to good indoor growers, use it. Use it by all means. But if you also know the good outdoor growers every season that come out with that fire, grab that shit
yeah, it's just
because it goes fast.
so much harder to actually get that outdoor, to be honest, because it's
Yeah,
so
because
inconsistent.
well, there's only one season that you can do it. There's only a
Yeah.
few months out of the year that you can actually grow outdoor successfully, and that's it.
What do you think that the thing is? Why do you think most people think outdoor is going to be bad? Do you think it's just because people think that it has more more chances of being
Well, I think a
taken
lot of
effect?
people associate outdoor with dirt, bugs, mildew. Mildew's a huge one. Powdery mildew's a huge fucking problem with outdoor cannabis.
Yeah.
If it's not done right, your buds could be riddled on the inside. It won't even be noticeable on the outside until you break that bud open, and then you see it, because bud rot starts from the inside out.
So the bud rot is always when it starts getting like super dark brown around the stem.
Yeah, and it has an off smell. It's
almost like
it stinks.
Yeah, it's like a dead smell, like almost like it's. That's the interesting thing about like a lot of the cannabis that goes around right now is I don't think people understand how long it should be even on the market or even be allowed to be smoked, because at the end of the day, it's very similar to a fruit. It's very similar to any other plant that we are consuming.
For sure. And here's the thing. With outdoor, there is a window to where the weed's not smokable no more, and that's why you will see a ton of outdoor growers. They'll release some flower, freeze the rest for hash, and that's it. You know what I mean? Once it's gone, it's gone.
So what do you think of the hash scene? Do you think that the hash scene right now is somewhat
exploding?
Do you think that is
exploding?
It's definitely exploding, but do you think that it's almost more, it's like the smarter route to go right now? Do you think that the hash is probably like the hot item on the market, so it's going to be...
It's all about your pockets, man, what you can afford.
Fair, for sure.
You know what I mean? It's all about preference. If you prefer to smoke hash, then smoke hash and you can afford it, fine. Just want flower, that's fine too,
That's the thing. I've been noticing, like, for the majority of the market, what I think is like the kind of responsible for the confusion in the market is like that people, I don't know, people see the prices of hash, they see the value of like some of the indoor plants, and then they see some of the value of the outdoor plants, and they only smoke the indoor, so they only have this like blurred experience on like what is possible. You know what I mean? So then they see all these prices.
They probably had some good outdoor, or what they call light deprivation, which is basically butt naked plants with a happy trail of plastic over the top of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they can run maybe 4 rounds of that each season compared to 1 round. So there's a lot of light depths too.
Yeah. Do you think that it's possible for light depths to be on a high enough level where it's actually able to compete with some like very high end outdoor? Or
let's say that again. I'm sorry, my girl was asking me something.
Do you think that it would be ever possible for light depths to ever be on a level where it's actually able to compete with outdoor?
Fucking right it is. Let me tell you right now, man. There's some people growing some amazing depths out there, man. That will pass for indoor, and they're killing it, man. But it's also it's so good it passes for indoor.
Exactly, yeah.
And some people that can kill it.
I've noticed, I've tried some people's depths, and I've also tried their indoors, and it's almost like the depths are better sometimes. It's fucking weird, but it's
well, the only difference between outdoor butt naked plants growing outdoor in the soil, and then you have light depth, which is a controlled environment basically with a blackout tarp. Yeah. You take the tarp off and you put it back on 12 hours later. And that's it. That's how they get so many runs in per season, because they're controlling the light outside.
That leads
so
me to
they can
this. Do you think that is it possible for a plant to be organic if it's grown indoors and they use HPS lights or LEDs? Like,
this is a touchy subject, and I know a lot of people aren't going to want to hear this, but you're not 100% organic growing indoors with living soil. Yes, your soil is alive, it's living, it has carbon, but what about your lights, your equipment? All that's artificial. So,
and that's honestly like the most effective thing that's actually going to be able to help it grow. So how is it organic at all?
If a grower can somehow close their loop and make all their nutrients, ferments, IMOs, all that stuff, and have worm bins creating a consistent flow of worm castings. They have it in their beds. You know, yes, you can close the loop and not pay for any nutrients. You can make everything that way.
Yeah.
But you're still not 100% organic indoors.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not 100%. The equipment kills it. You know what I mean?
I think that is something that a lot of people, as you said, it is definitely like a touchy subject. It's not something that everyone wants to hear, but it's like, I think it's very necessary for the people to actually like.
But
really
how many
think about it,
people?
at least, you know what I mean? Because it's like
How many growers actually make their own nutrients in house? Make their own ferments? Have their own worm bins? When I was growing for myself, I had my own worm bins. It's all over my page. You know what I mean? I was trying to close the loop. I was trying to get as close as possible. But I know myself, I'm not going to be 100% organic indoors.
When you say close the loop, what does that like fully mean?
Closing the loop, meaning you don't source anything outside your grow.
Oh, okay. So it's completely just
you breed your seeds, you grow your own seeds, you process your own material. It's what they call kind of a single source thing. I'm sure you heard that word, single source.
Yeah, single source. Is that usually like I've heard that before. I've never really.
It's another term that was thrown around a little too loosely.
Yeah, I see it on a lot of like these hash rosin jars and stuff. Like they're always saying single source.
Yeah, and most of the time, even if it's just a clone-only variety, and you grew it and process it all yourself, it doesn't have to be necessarily breeding your own seeds. You know what I mean? But yes, that would be ideal, you know, but even if you're growing from clone only and you're doing everything yourself in-house, making all your nutrients, processing the material, washing it, doing all that yourself, you're considered single source. You are definitely single source. You did it all yourself. That's what that really means. You did it all yourself.
See, I feel like that needs to be talked about more too, to be honest, because there's so many of these terms that get used in such like almost evil ways, to be honest, where they like
people use it to market things. They're not wrong. How else are you gonna market shit? You have to.
It's words help, you know what I mean? You have to, but it's like I wish there was a little bit more transparency on like what people, you know what I mean?
There's a lot of people doing it right.
Yeah.
You know,
that's fair. There is.
And there's a lot, and then there's some that don't. You know, but
who do you think
people should know the difference?
Who do you think out there that's actually doing small batch flour is your all-time favorite?
All-time favorite?
It's kind of a tough one. I know it's not necessarily like easy.
No, it's not really tough. I just don't want to put the man's name out there like that because it's not about that with him.
Fair,
you know,
fair.
Yes, he grows amazing medicine, but Jay Plantspeaker is fucking a monster, bro.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite all-time flower of all fucking time. On a medicinal level, not this hype bullshit train that people ride. It's either you know or you don't.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just.
And he's not running.
Flower.
He's in your experience of seeing him in his process. He's never ran any of these new school like weird genetics, has he?
Nah, it's just the same stuff. Sour, headband, GMO. You know, I like. What else do you need, really?
Yeah, in the bigger picture, the way I think the market is going to move in the future is we've seen this in the past. We've seen people become specialists, and that's how they actually create longevity. You know what I mean? And someone like Jay Plantspeaker, him running those headbands, him running the fucking GMO and running the sour is just like people aren't going to be able to find the way to dial it in like he is. Like he is spending so much time to actually figure out this plant, like this individual plant, which is something that a lot of people are not doing anymore.
There's so many others that are still doing it right. Like Kush Kirk is another one. He's killing it too on his own level.
Yeah. OGKB is ridiculous. I love that, to be honest. It was good.
Like that's what he's known for. That's what he chose to dial in out of any other plant was the OGKB.
Yeah. I respect that a
He's been
lot.
growing that for what, like 10 plus years now? You
Yeah.
know, and that's his, I don't want to say his plant, but that's his
Like
moniker. That's his thing.
yeah.
That's what he's known for, the OGKB.
It was even
And
his like
also,
it was his like select strain, you know what I mean? Like I could see that he
yeah,
actually has passion for that plant, you know what I mean? Even like just
yes,
the artwork.
exactly.
I might have the fucking jar right here. No, I don't. The artwork on the thing, it's like it's not like necessarily the most like high end graphics, but you can tell
Yeah,
it's like actually it makes so much sense. It's not necessarily like
yeah.
a fucking some girl that has a load on her face. It's actually something that makes sense. You know what I mean? It's
Listen,
not
I'm old
necessarily
school. As long as I get my shit in a Ziploc bag, I don't give a fuck, man.
yeah.
Sandwich bag gang forever. I don't care.
I
As
agree.
long as it's fire.
I agree. I honestly at the end of the day, as long as it's fresh, as long as it's fresh and it's not going to be,
That's it.
you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, it's like once the flower is not fresh, it's not going to give you effects that you're even going to want to feel at
Yeah.
all. So it's like I don't know. I think that
But
that is something.
there's so many good growers out here, man, and you can't even name them all because it's like they're all on the same level of their own specific strain that they're known for growing. You know, there's just so many people out here
Let me bring it
that
back
just
though.
kill it.
Let's actually get into the interview. What actually got you into smoking cannabis? Like what actually influenced you to try cannabis in the first place?
Well, I'm 43 now. I was about 11 years old when I first tried it,
Hmm.
and it was just me and my buddy fucking stealing his brother's stash, and it was still it
I
was still brickweed at that time, clearly,
yeah.
and it was riddled with seeds and stems, and we're just breaking it in little pieces, trying to roll a fucking joint for the first time, and we're not even breaking it up right.
You know if the joint did the joint come out all right, like smokable?
No, because it was rolled in little tiny chunks from the
Oh
brickweed.
yeah. That shit would not smoke at all then.
Nah, it wasn't smoking. So we just took some tinfoil and went at it.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny because I started smoking. I was like 13, and realistically, it was just like looking back on it. It's just hilarious to see what was accessible at that age period. It's no
Oh
one
my
had.
God, we were getting so high from it.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't get high for the first couple times. I didn't get high at all. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I got high. I got ripped. I got bombed.
I
I was
probably
floating. The grass was blue. The grass was fucking blue, bro. Like I was tripping.
I at first like I was like, why do people enjoy this at all? You know what I mean? It's like to me it was just like kind of like I don't know. I didn't get a good taste of it. I didn't get a good experience of it at all. So I was just like
Yeah. Now
you
let's
know,
talk about the first time, my first run-in with exotic.
what was that? Would you do you know the strain?
Yeah, the first time I ever had any real good grown fucking weed was Headband.
Headband.
Yes.
Do you know who it was from, or was it just like grown?
Nah, it was from the bikers back then.
Oh yeah,
It was a biker club.
that's the thing.
So
Like honestly, I wish I like that's one thing I kind of wish I was older. I wish I got to experience all that shit.
yeah, man, the bikers had that shit on lock for a while. All the older OGs and the Cushes, the Skunks, they all had that shit.
That first batch of headband you tried though, was it actually it's like it's obviously memorable, but like was it like
It was
comparable to
probably it was probably about 6 years after I first tried smoking. So I was 11. 6 years later, 17, finally had Headband for the first time, and it was just like getting high all over again.
that's the
Like,
funny
yeah, like where was this all my fucking life? Where was this? Like, I couldn't believe how good it was. It
the
was retarded.
the headband back then was probably so much better too because the real sour was around, you know what I mean?
And bro, that was 1997, 98.
Yeah, that's
Like,
interesting.
that's a long time ago.
Everything's since then it's like completely changed, you know what I mean? It's
Oh my God, it's ridiculous.
Do you remember when you first started seeing the Snapchat movement, like the
Nah, I never paid attention to that shit, to be
really?
honest with you. The Snapchat era, nah,
That's interesting.
nah, nah. It never interested me.
I
Even TikTok.
I can't lie. I was obsessed with like the fucking like trying to be like the best at first, but that's like great way to get yourself into the wrong eyes. Let's say it like that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I definitely think that
it's,
I definitely think that it's interesting. It's interesting to see like the change. But going back to like the headband, that was it actually comparable to any of the headband today?
yeah,
Or
yeah. Pretty close. Pretty fucking close.
would you say it was better or worse?
About the same. It was really fired, man.
So do you think that it was easier to access real high end weed back then?
No,
No?
if you were able to access it in the beginning when it first started hitting the scene, like it was super expensive.
Yeah.
Kind of like things are now.
Yeah.
400 or 500 an ounce, 16 and 8, up and down. You know what I mean? That's what it was when the fucking BCs, the Kind Bud, the Hydro, all that shit, when it hit the scene, that shit was all highly priced and sought after. 6 grand a pound. Like
Yeah.
Haze.
People that's
Haze was six.
I've heard in New York, people in New York were fucking getting like wicked ripped off on packs. It was crazy to see.
They weren't getting ripped off because they were still doubling their fucking money.
Well, yeah. At the time, like getting ripped off, it was like completely unknown. No one even knows. Like still to this day, I feel as if to this day people are still kind of learning the ropes, and it's like still like the very early ages of the whole growth of stuff. So it's interesting to see in the bigger picture. I definitely think that it's like I don't know, like comparable to where I started. It's amazing to see the growth.
How old are you?
You said what?
How old are you?
I'm 23.
Yeah, you missed a lot of the golden era of cannabis, man.
Yeah, honestly, it's
Like
crazy.
that was really that was such a fucking fun time, man, when all those different strains started hitting the scenes and it was all fucking dank as fuck.
It
Like
sucks. It sucks because like all the stories I hear is it almost sounds like those times were so much better in a way. And that's why like the whole thing with my channel, like my YouTube channel, is dedicated just trying to bring that time back in a way. You know what I mean? I feel as if like the real
listen,
OG.
I still remember at the back of the High Times magazines buying Nirvana seeds and doing gorilla grows in the fucking woods, man.
Did you ever so wait, you purchased seeds on
In the back of High Times before. Yeah, they were some legit ads in the back of High Times back then.
that's interesting. So when you would go to like the grow shops back in the day, like it was much different. It was much more
Well,
concealed.
they didn't have no grow shops back in the day.
Really?
Not
That
not
was more
like
like a
that.
Cali
No,
thing?
no, like Cali became legal what, like 95 for medical use or 92 or something?
But didn't they still have the like the shops where you could go and you would just have to say like you would have to say tomatoes instead?
Yeah, something like that. They had certain places, but I'm not from Cali, so I ain't gonna know nothing about that shit.
Fair,
You know
fair.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I wasn't aware if they
I
had
know it was a very private group of people that were just safe about it then. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Because I guess even
I
in like Florida and shit, like I was do you watch First Smoke of the Day ever?
Yeah,
So on there, like they were talking about how it used to be just like you literally would have to like drive around the town like a few times to make sure no one's following you after you went to like a grow shop or something, which is it's dope to see. You know what I mean? Like I definitely think that like the
well, in PA here, we don't have too many grow shops. Like where I'm at, if I Google a grow shop, the closest one to me is like 4 hours away.
oh really?
Yeah, so
That's probably
we
the
have a
same thing in
greenhouse.
Massachusetts, to be honest.
But what I do have really close to me is this place called Ott's Farm, and it's a huge fucking walk-through greenhouse with all these tropical plants. They make their own soil there. That's what I used all the time.
Oh wow.
That was my base for my starting soils,
So
and then I just keep using it over and over. You know what I mean?
yeah, let's get into
So
that a bit. How old were you when you first started growing?
probably like 16, 17 when I started really like seeing the High Times magazines and all that other shit, looking the shit in the back, ordering seeds, keeping seeds from my bags clearly, because sometimes you get lucky and you still get a seed in the good shit sometimes. So
I have
going into
so
the
many
woods and
bag
doing,
seeds that I've been holding.
just fucking go in the woods and plant them all, doing huge little plots of gorilla grows and just fucking doing that every year.
It worked out there?
Yeah,
Wow.
every season, every summer, man.
Wow. I can't lie, when I was young, I planted a seed, and I was so dumb that I didn't plant it where the sun would even get to it at all.
Yeah, we would have to walk pretty far to find a good clearing
Yeah.
to where we know the best thing when you're doing gorilla grows back then, if you see a patch of like plants and trees that are really thriving, that's where you want to set up camp.
That's interesting. I didn't honestly like I've heard about like the gorilla grows and stuff. I know it's like super popular in California right now with like the cartel and stuff, but
That was the thing back then. That's what they used to do back then.
yeah.
Big, huge gorilla grows. Even in the center of cornfields. You walk in the center of a huge cornfield, you fucking just make a big square in the center of a huge cornfield, bro. And you just plant the plants there, and that's it.
Yeah, it's smart because
The
then
old
like,
heads know about that shit.
that's like that's definitely more like a country type thing though. Are you
Yeah, but it
so wait,
worked. It
you're
worked.
you're in PA, you said?
Yeah. It used to work, though. Out in Amish country and cornfields, bro. Just go out in the center of it and just plant your seeds and fucking come back when it's fucking ready to harvest.
Do you remember what the first strains that you were growing were?
Afghans, hazes,
I got some.
Northern Lights.
Oh
Fucking
wow.
lots of Northern Lights.
I honestly have never really tried like an official Northern Lights batch. I've tried like one that my buddy grew, and
Not many
it's
people still deal with that shit. There's a couple breeders that still deal with those genetics. Like AK Beanbrains, he's a genius. For he he deals with old school preservation, and he has so much old school shit, and he's been breeding for fucking so long, before I was even born. And this fucking dude's a legend.
Do you remember any of like the major issues that you faced when you first started growing? Like, what was the major besides like
There was
any like
just the law, keeping it
yeah?
secret, that's it.
That was
Don't tell nobody.
definitely
Don't tell nobody.
don't never let people know how much you hold. Let's say it like that,
And always work at night.
at night.
Always work out at night. If you're gonna go water your plants, do it at night.
Even outdoor ones?
Yeah.
Why is that?
You had to be safe back in the day, man. You fucking walking around with 5-gallon buckets, just walking into the woods, and people see you doing.
Yeah, that's very true, actually. Have you ever
You know what I'm saying? You gotta operate at night, man.
This may be a stupid question, but has any animals ever messed with the plants? Like outdoor plants in your experience?
Nope, we had fucking ways to deal with that. The deer would be our biggest problem, and all you have to do is piss around your grow.
Wow. So
That's all you do. Just piss. Just piss.
really
The deer will smell that, and they not coming near the shit.
almost like a dog like pissing on its mark.
Think about it. Deers don't like humans.
That's true. Any smell of a
They
human.
scared shitless of us.
That's actually very smart. That's very smart, honestly.
Other pests. We had rays. Like we didn't know about a lot of the shit back then, like neem oil. Like we didn't know what neem oil can cause now, and how carcinogenic it is if it gets in the plants, and how harmful it can be.
Yeah.
You know, it's an oil-based product, but it keeps insects away.
That's the thing. Like the all like the different stuff that keeps stuff away, and people are spraying it on plants. Like I've always had this weird like kind of outlook on like what I can eat and what I can't
Yeah,
eat because I have diabetes. So that's just like kind of
yeah,
gave me this like weird like kind of like structure to life in a way. I guess I could say that. But I think that it's like it's always kind of like amazed me that people like would put stuff on a plant that's going to keep something else away. Like I've always like kind of thought that
but
was
see,
like,
back then, we didn't fucking know no better. We're
yeah.
just trying to protect our crop.
And at the same time, like tell me not, but people back then kind of didn't care if it was clean.
What's that?
Do you think people back then like I feel like people back then really didn't give a fuck if it was clean. Like there was, from what I've heard, like the people that were like bringing stuff, especially like the people that were bringing it from like other countries, they were doing it in like
Yeah,
very
inconspicuous ways.
yeah, unsanitary ways. Let's say it like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they literally like supposedly, I don't know how true this is, but like they were like putting it with gas or some shit. I should,
See, they do ship it like that in gas tanks and shit with gas, but it's wrapped up and it shouldn't really leak. But there, a lot of the times back in the day, I would even get brickweed like this. It would be almost reminiscent of fabric softener,
wow. That's
like soapy weed.
yeah. Like where
But it was fire, bro. But it was fire shit. But it fucking had that smell and taste of like it was sitting with fabric softeners.
it probably was. I
It probably was.
one
And
of
then I would get strings that taste like fucking coffee grinds, dude.
the one of the plugs back in the day that I used to shop with.
Hold up, what's he saying here? So around 2012, I heard of DC people paying 600 an ounce in those days, dollars already for a begin. Yeah, he's probably right. Like those were the prices back in the day, back then, like that. They were still up.
I hear all the time that people were paying like 600 all day for haze, for fucking haze.
They were probably paying. Listen, Hayes back in the day from the Dominicans was really going for $6 grand a fucking pound, and I can promise you that.
I,
That middle Hayes was fucking, man. Nothing was
sucks.
smoking like that, man. Nothing.
It sucks because I'm in Massachusetts, right? So I would have like easier access. Like I'm pretty like I know a few people from New York. So like at this time, like I know I could definitely get haze, but like everything that I've tried, and I hate to say that because that would make people like think that the batches I've tried from them aren't the best.
If
But
the people want the real history about Hayes and New York, follow White Boy Kev.
yeah,
White Boy Kev.
I've heard very
Pith
good stuff
Coast.
about them.
Pith Coast is another one that's held the Hayes down with White Boy Kev. Smoke Up 212. He's another one. Like, y'all should be following these people because they really been around and really are the ones that brought the Hayes.
Yeah, those are the real OGs.
They are. They are. Big shout out to them too for holding it down all this fucking time, man.
In my opinion, those are the people that need to be on these interviews and shit. But at the same time,
They are. You see them doing other interviews. You mean you want to interview them?
well, like first smoke of the day. Like I think that first smoke of the day is probably the biggest platform at the moment. Like that's probably the one that has the most traction and all that. So
Yeah. I like Good Pizza Podcast.
I actually haven't checked them out yet, to be honest.
Good pizza's good people, man.
Yeah.
Good Pizza Podcast, good people, man.
I've seen he had a few people on that I'm not too
Not
friendly with.
happy about it. Yeah, I get it, but
you know,
they got to keep it fair. It is what it is.
I agree.
And I know who you're talking about. Be easy, right? Just be easy.
Trying not to say the name. Every single time I say the name, it's like,
No, I'm just saying be easy. It ain't serious.
yeah, no. It's almost like fucking what is that movie where you say the thing 3 times and it just fucking it pops up?
Right.
You know what I mean.
Candyman?
It's like Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
Oh, Beetlejuice.
Say it 3 times, it'll just pop up. That's the same thing with that fucking bee character. But where were we going? The haze. So the haze, that shit fucking honestly, like the haze, I really haven't ever tried like some like official haze. So that's like one thing that I'm like hunting for at the moment. But what do you think about the
Yeah.
candy? What do you think
You
about the
said you
candy?
look at, you said you're hunting for some haze?
Yeah.
I mean, it ain't hard to find. I just mentioned 3 people right off the bat that'll steer you in the right direction that are doing it right.
Well,
Even
yeah,
Loyalty IC Mag. Anybody out here following Loyalty IC Mag? There are another good ones holding down the haze, still growing it properly.
I've heard that live whatever. I'm not good with that. With remembering that. I forget what the thing is. It's like live v something whatever, and it's like a haze cut.
Laveja?
Yeah, I heard that one.
Laveja or something?
He's really good.
Yeah, that shit
Everyone
looks so
says it's
fire,
good.
man. Listen, you just got to talk to the right people, approach them properly. Obviously, anybody can get plugged in, man. Just some people just don't know how to approach people respectfully because you
Yeah,
might not be able to get it from him, but he might be able to point you in the direction where you can.
yeah.
It's just how you approach people.
I think that's just the way of life. If you want to build a bridge with anyone in life, it's just about how you approach them. Like some people are very, I don't know, I don't know how to like say. Like some people are very like, they almost they think you owe them something, so they act like they'll talk to you in like such like a weird way. But like me personally, I think it's very good to be kind, but at the end of the day,
Absolutely.
be honest.
Yeah.
Still, you know what I mean. Don't fucking beat around the bush. Say it how you feel. You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah, but you got to be respectful with it.
yes, definitely.
You know, the way I approach growers, like even new growers that I'm interested in, just found out about, never followed them before, and I slide in their DM. I gotta just be respectful. Like, I notice your work. I've been looking at your page and just wondering how, can get on board with supporting. It's just
Yeah,
some people just don't know how to talk sometimes.
I agree.
It's just,
I think
I don't know. All these growers need to make money, man.
even
They need to
myself, I
make
learn
money. They
every
need to
day.
support their families.
Yeah, that's one powerful thing is like that quote. You learn something new every day. You just gotta stick
Yeah,
with that. You keep learning, keep learning. You know what I mean? And that's the same with
exactly.
me. Same with everyone. You know what I mean? We all have so much to learn, and that's why something like this is powerful because we actually get to spread what we've learned, and then there's people also in here who can actually share what they've learned, all that stuff too. So it's like I think it may be a cooler thing for me to do this on live stream, maybe, but I don't know. I also
Ask
want
the questions. What does that mean?
what
Install more quartz that pass the questions. I don't know if it was a typo or something. I don't know.
I haven't even been reading any of this stuff to be honest.
Yeah, I
But
know. It's nice to interact with the people that are on the live, though. Can't forget about them.
I want to, but at the same time, fucking, I do have a few questions that I do want to ask.
Go ahead. What you got?
So basically, what do you think about the candy wave that's going at the moment? Do you think that the candy
Uh,
wave? Let me
uh,
say this. Do you think that it's almost
uh,
stalling the advancements of or the evolution of the game just because right now everyone is selling the same thing, everyone's hustling, and everyone's like
don't even get me.
more
Like
scam.
you just gonna open up a can of worms with this candy bullshit. Like this fucking candy bullshit, man. It's just a big fucking rename game. That's all it is, and everybody falls for it. And there's no new candy strains coming out like that. It takes years to produce a new fucking strain, and it fucking doesn't happen overnight.
Mm-hmm.
So put 2 and 2 together. No batch is the same. So therefore, you can rename it every fucking batch.
Very true. Very true. No batches are the
So
same. No batches. That's the interesting thing I've learned with weed.
bullshit.
Like trying to find the same thing that I already smoked. It's like
Exactly.
looking
It's
for a
just a
needle in a
different batch.
haystack. You know what I mean? It's possible, I guess. You could probably find something that like tasted exactly the same, had the same effects, but it's going to be a little bit different each time. It's strains evolve, you know what I mean? And it's
I'd love to see a grower that I'd love to see a grower that's growing the same strain consistently every time, the same time, the same way every time. I'd love to see that one.
That is one thing that kind of like worries me when you see that, when you see it looking, smelling the same every single time. You're like, what's getting
that's not dialed in.
Yeah.
That's not dialed in.
I think, in my opinion, what you see there is the person. I don't know. There's loads of things that you can see there, but I think that it's definitely interesting because in the bigger picture, I do think everything evolves. Everything gets a little bit different each time, and that's like the dope thing about this plant. You know what I mean? Like, it's never gonna be the same, and that's like why people keep smoking it. You know what I mean? The thing
Yeah,
about
they
like
think it's
alcohol,
different.
like the
And
weird
now
thing
they
about
got these
alcohol is
spray packs. Oh, these spray packs too. You got fucking lemon cherry gelato that tastes like fucking cheesecake on the exhale. What the fuck is this?
I truly don't think that it's possible for them to spray something on there for it to get to taste. I've smoked a lot.
It's legit, man. They got butter popcorn fucking weed flavor.
I've done
They got
reviews
butter
of all
popcorn
that.
terps.
That's the thing. Like, if anyone wants to see legit reviews of all that weird hype nonsense, go check my page because I literally. That's why my thing is brutal 420 reviews, but we're on a different account right now because they won't allow me to go live on that one. So I've done a bunch of reviews on all of this nonsense and like shown how
Yeah.
it's all, you know what I mean? So
I
it's
put
like,
posts about this shit too, man. This shit is so fucking corny. Spraying packs for one thing that tastes like another, and then like I don't fucking know. I
it
don't
is
get
what
it.
it is, though. I do, but like, let me say this:
Oh
do you
my
think that
god.
like the game, the way it is right now, do you think that it is stunting the evolution and that realistically, like we could be going through so many different like lines of we could definitely have the real sour. We could have all of these strains going crazy right now, but I think people are just more stuck on trying to be that next hype man. So what I'm
Yeah.
basically trying to get at is, do you think that people should be trying to be specialists again?
Nah, because you know the day and age we're in right now. Anybody can make a brand off of a fucking good grower. They can make their own shit off of a fucking good grower.
I
You
think
know,
that's a better move, though. I think if you can find a good grower to collaborate with and
but
start
then
moving like a Doja
there's no
Cat,
credit given to the grower. There's no
there
credit
can
given
be.
to the look at once.
The
That's a
rough the
perfect
rough
example.
the rough thing is like in a situation where like Doja, he gives all the credit and he's at like a high enough level where he can give the credit, but someone on a lower level, if they try to give that grower credit, then the grower is just gonna fucking snake them and just take that client. It's happened.
No,
It happens all day. You know what I mean? Which I'm not gonna
I
say
just
it's
don't agree with it.
necessarily like a snake move. I think it's like they're growing it in the first place. It is what it is. But it's like
I
I do
I don't
think
agree
that
with fucking
I think that they should be
people.
more teamwork in the whole process right now. If
Well,
people were able to actually unite and work as a team, then I think that the
and that they don't.
process would be way better.
That's why you see so many brands, and they're all non-growers. All these fucking people don't even fucking grow, and they have these brands of weed and mylars, and it's not even their actual hard work. It's another growers, and they don't even get the fucking credit.
Yeah.
Where do we do that at?
I do see a lot of people giving growers credit though. I do see a lot of people.
Some,
I think
of
that is
course.
a very strategic, smart move to do. I think that is like, honestly, like that is like a smart thing to do as well. If you are a grower, to like give credit to all these different people that you're teaming with and almost form like a union and do it like that because that is business. That is like a smart business move.
Yeah, but that's not how they think this day and age. It's all about me, me, me. Fuck you. That's what it's about.
Which is,
That's how people do business now.
yeah. I mean, at the same time, I do
Sad.
see a lot of like, there is like a few different like crews that I'm seeing that are like doing some interesting stuff. They're like as like a team. I just wish people would see that as like an option. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to like bore the people talking about that, but I definitely think that that is like a necessary thing that we need right now.
Yeah, I don't think we need more Mylar pushers. We need less of them and more credit to the growers that are actually putting out this fucking fire work. Yeah, it's okay to have some reps for certain brands, but how many fucking Mylar brands do we really need that aren't even associated with respected growers? Like, it's just all mass produced, put in a Mylar, name this, and that's it. The next week it'll be something different, but it's the same strain you just smoked fucking last week, just with a different fucking name.
Yeah, I think that that is the cycle, though. I think that people,
That's all it is.
I think people right now see that as like a super.
People,
You can make a lot off that if so. It's like
do you realize? Like, let me put you down with something. Have you ever heard of the producer's Glass House?
yes, yes, yes.
All right, let's just use Glass House as an example, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, they have 1 million square feet of canopy space, okay? 1 fucking million square feet of canopy space. Do you even fathom how much that is
I know
in
that
production with weed? Do you know how much that can produce alone?
probably I wouldn't even want to guess, but I know it's like
They can supply California alone. They can supply California alone
mold. That someone said mold.
on their own.
I
The whole state of California.
How does someone even like take it? You would have to have like a. You would have to have. I agree though. I think that the amount of opportunity that you're giving for each plant just to get fucked up when you go big is fucked up. But at the end of the day, like
That Glass House is fucking pumping out so many pounds out the back door, but you think they're really selling that much?
Oh hell no.
Like off the shelf legally?
Someone
Fuck
made a
no.
documentary about this one. I wish I could credit the documentary. I wish I had it like on hand, but it's like it's interesting.
I think it was LMC Media.
I think it could have been them, but it was either them or it
I was
was
positive it was LMC Media.
it was. I think actually it probably was them actually because I'm thinking they're the only ones that actually do it.
Yeah, I like them too. They're another good one.
Yeah, they honestly they what's it called? They just put out a very interesting thing with the Cali plug. That was super interesting.
Yeah, I saw that too. I saw that.
Honestly, a lot of their stuff is super interesting. Is there any other media pages that you are
Not off the head.
Hmm?
There's a few.
Is there any ones that actually give out knowledge in your opinion?
Not really. Nothing that we didn't really already know. Like, it's not really a surprise anymore now that all the truth is coming out. Like, a lot of people knew this already, man, what it was from the beginning. And it's only going to get worse once this rescheduling happens.
Yeah, it's going to get worse. That's the thing. It's interesting to see it. I hate to say it. I hate to be like that, like down person, but like it's just reality. I think that if people can't accept it, then it's going to be bad. So what we can
but I'm telling you, man,
I think we
so much weed is produced in California alone, not even counting the other states, man. Where do you think all that shit goes, though? You know, it's not all getting sold on the shelf.
A lot of the stuff that's in California right now is not. I mean, it's a lot of it is being sold to like obviously New York right now. New York's booming with the Cali packs, so New York is probably a bigger consumer than California too. Realistically, there's more people out there, so it's just
California still provides everything for New York practically. They have been for the longest time, and it'll never stop. That's where New York gets most of their shit from. California.
It's interesting though, because realistically, right now the whole boom with like Oklahoma, the whole boom with what's that other state? There's another state that's like going crazy right now. Do you know what I'm talking about? What is
Maybe Oregon.
Oregon? Oregon's not doing bad though. I think that Oregon. Well, I mean, I don't know. I have no idea what they're doing on like a mass scale, but I think that it's
But do you have any? You got any more questions for me, though?
realistically. I didn't even write any more down, so at the moment, no. Let's plan like another time and actually like set something up for like some real questions. But like for now, I think that this was good.
Yeah, we only touched the tip of the iceberg though with this
Yeah,
this
exactly.
organic versus, I guess you want to say, indoor versus greenhouse versus, like, where is the quality really at, and what people really don't know
I do have a
about.
question about hash though. What do you think is like the crazy thing that's going on with hash? Like what is the issue when it comes to like the quality? Do you think that like most people are realistically playing the people, telling the people that it's hash when it's just not even hash
Well,
at
my buddy Roots Resin just joined here. My buddy Roots Resin, good dude, and he makes some really good hash, and yeah, so he can probably do a better interview possibly if he's down with that. You know what I mean?
all?
Because he's an outdoor grower, sun grown, no till, same soil, everything made in house. He doesn't buy nothing.
Really?
He closed the loop. You
Yeah.
know, and he's a work in progress too. That's what's crazy, and he's killing it. Fucking killing it. His product is amazing. Love everything about his hash. Love it.
Well, yeah, I appreciate people that do that. I appreciate people that are going that
But
extra
the
mile.
hash scene right now, when it comes to quality, you got to really know your grower.
Yes, yeah.
I guess that's the big thing. You got to know the fucking grower, what their methods are.
Do you think it's
Because,
important to see that they show that they washed? Do you think it's important to see those
yes,
things, or do you think it's
show
more
your
important
fucking,
that
show your work.
fair
Show your work. Show your work. People want to say it.
actually
Believe it or not,
valid,
people enjoy seeing it.
fair?
People want to see the work. They enjoy that shit. Because then when they finally get it to their table, they knew how it was. They knew what it went through. And it's just that much more appreciated.
I agree. I definitely think that like in the bigger picture, the people will respect it if they actually can see it. You know what I mean? If they just hear all the buzz and then they try it and it's just all right, then they'll move on to the next one. So I definitely appreciate the time. I definitely want to start planning more of these, and I definitely will have
Yeah.
another one in the next few days that I will be showing for the people. So definitely appreciate you for
And
this.
my boy Roots Resin is down to go with you. Not today, of course, but whenever you want.
Definitely. We'll
To
have to
talk
talk more
about
about him.
because he's an Oregon grower. He's sun grown, so he can absolutely touch on the subject way more on another level.
Yes, that's the thing. I definitely want to do more research on the people and give like a better presentation of their like of what they bring. You know what I mean? So
Of
didn't
course.
fully get into that today. I feel as if this was a great like
Yeah.
intro for
Just
that.
a stepping stone. Just a stepping stone.
Exactly. I appreciate you though for this.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. There's a lot of people that deserve a lot of recognition out here. And
Is there any people that you want to shout out?
uh, I mean, I don't think it's really necessary, you know?
Just like I
Those
would say,
guys know
Craig
who they
Campbell,
are.
Planet Speaker.
I see them. I see them on your live. Nothing Cool just came in. Fucking great grower. He's indoor soil. Fucking great grower. Uh, yeah, dude. I've seen them pop in from time to time. There's a couple of the guys that I support for sure.
Perfect. Yeah,
So
I definitely want to
the
touch base with a lot more people.
list is too long. The list is too long to shout out.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
That would be the same answer I would have. So I respect it.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
I appreciate it though. We'll chop it up soon.
Absolutely, absolutely. Take care, man, and have a good one.
Stay blessed, bro. Okay, so what's up, guys? I'm gonna be doing a interview